Although, again, I just want to do a bit of I'm a citizen here, follow up on the ongoing war with Iran. I'm not going to chime in my opinions, whether we like it or not. That was the decision that was made. And honestly, wait a minute, I'm not against it if it's a quick, brief enough affair and that liberates those people as well as the entire, somehow it brings about, there's a ongoing regional ideological, everyone for no reason, and those ones stirred up a hornet's nest for sure. If you look into it, that regime from day one, it took power, both foreign and domestic were kind of bullies about it. But it's irrelevant arguing along. I'll remind you, our president was clear with what the strategy was going into it. So that's all I wish to remind everyone of, because I think a lot of people on both sides of the aisle and in between and independent, unaffiliated like myself want the same sort of a thing. And our president was clear with his strategy, which was to decimate their military capabilities and get the people high enough, enough of them at the upper echelon of the regime, but most notably to get the ships and the missiles, the IED factories, their ability to wage war and enrich the uranium, which was the original sticking point for this spat. But then at some point, the bombs have to stop dropping because he said for himself, part of his strategy was to give them the best possible chance at regime change, which involved staying indoors until the bombs are dropped and then taking their country back for themselves, because these people aren't going to be in a position to bully them like has been the case in the past. So that was the strategy. We are now, I believe this is the 11th day in, right? So that's certainly less than 2 weeks. I'm not suggesting he prematurely stop bombing, where the missiles and the drones are hiding out and things like that. But he says for himself, they're starting to, whenever they feel they're in a good spot to stop the bombing, I'll remind you that was not the end of his strategy. It was then to support those people, but not in a quagmire, boots on the ground, like we have to do everything sort of a way, militarily, sort of a support. At some point, the bombs do have to stop dropping so that they can endeavor for themselves to do whatever they have to do once they stop. Because, of course, some of us, we want peace, long-lasting peace. We understand right now you have war. And when is people like the most threatening? When their back is against those. So that is the situation right now with a lot of the, I suppose, the military force in Iran. But listen, all I will remind everyone of is that there was a clear plan from the president. So if he wants to follow through with the people of Iran, which he said, wait until okay, so we're less than 2 weeks in. He said he needed 2 to 4 weeks or whatever he estimated it was to then go to that sort of, you have Bill O'Reilly spinning it like he's just going to bomb stuff, claim victory, we're trying to get ahead of the no spin zone spin artist here. Wait a minute, that's not a stupid strategy necessarily. He said what it was going in, to give them the best chance. Of course you can't do that when you're actively dropping bombs on the very cities and places where they would need for themselves to do their thing. So that was the strategy going in. So I'm just going to remind you of that, because I see a lot of people arguing. You're allowed to have a complicated opinion about a complicated thing. Of course, you don't want us to get dragged into, we're not the world police here, even though there are bad regimes. And there's only so much. Sometimes it's counterproductive. We should not want war with other countries because it invites death on. It doesn't, especially if it's two big countries like America when he had a big shot. So we all understand that. And to that end, Iran's trying to get a nuke for no good. They even deny they're trying to do that. They just, even with that, they couldn't be honest about why they're trying to enrich to that degree. Anyway, I'm just praying for everyone, and especially for peace, long-lasting peace in that region. and for a conflict that's not long and drawn out, and that the targets moving forward, they stick to the plan of military bombs and things like that, and try to avoid all kinds of horrible things that war brings in general, to try to find a silver lining to all this stuff, going back decades, let alone like the recent past. So anyway, just praying for peace and wanting to remind everyone of what our president said going in. So he's still on track to do that. And then I don't know why the professional class doesn't acknowledge that's what he said going in. So why not try to support that plan of attack? You know what I mean? To try to not get sucked into a long-term conflict, but cripple their ability, even if they can't facilitate regime change, but also to give them the best chance at it, which was the face. It just doesn't involve us doing that for them. You understand the difference? So, all right, have a good day, everyone. That's my thoughts. I guess day 11 or 12 into the Iran-America sort of war, to be blunt. So, anyway, have a good day, praying for the whole region, praying for all the people. There's a heaven above us, please, especially if that region is supposed to all be monotheist, whichever branch of it. And we know for us, the Lord is peace. So whatever else we want to, you can't, what some people are espousing and cheering, death to this or that. Anyone who chooses death to Iran or death to America or death to anyone is not correct. You know what I mean? Like whether you come at it with a Quran or a Bible, that's going to fail quick. So God will remind us all, oh no, he's God's supreme leader here, not you and me, all right? Have a good day, everyone. Bye.